Guys, so with this video I'd like to establish a certain fact, and that would be that you don't need antiviruses to essentially protect yourself from malware or any form of software that would cause harm to you, basically malware. And what I see commonly with people is that they purchase new laptops, pretty cheap entry level laptops, 2 core 4 threads Intel laptops, or even experienced computer users, just buy new laptops, and essentially they don't bother uninstalling the bloatware that comes pre-installed with that said laptop. And the common occurrences that I can see with these sort of people is that the software that come pre-installed usually contain Avast or never Kaspersky, but Avast or Avira antivirus. I'm not saying anything that don't use these antiviruses. I'm just saying that you don't need them. You can perfectly function and use the computer and browse the internet or watch YouTube videos or watch movies or stream on Netflix or do any of the stuff or play video games, for example, without the usage of said antiviruses. And I'm not trying to discredit Avira or Avast. I'm sure that they're great antivirus software, but all you need pretty much right now is just Windows Defender, and most definitely just common sense. I mean, let's get real here. So I just want to mention some tips and tips to protect yourself online. So always visit websites that you definitely know you can trust, like Google, YouTube, etc. Basically, the domain name shouldn't be something really freaky like getfreebitcoins.xyz. That's a really shady name. It's it definitely does not sound. I mean, it definitely sounds like a scam if you think about it. It sounds like one of those TV commercials that they play during like lose weight in 20 days, lose 40 kilos in 20 days, or something, just absurd claims. Like, if you click on those links thinking that they're actually going to function for you, you are completely mistaken, because all they are there to do is to basically install software into your system that can either lead to one of two things: bloatware or just straight up spyware. And another thing which you can do is, whenever you are visiting websites, make sure to check the type of encryption that they're using, or the protocol, rather the encryption protocol, which I mean to say. If it is HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, which is a new type of protocol. I mean, it's not new, but it's a type of protocol that essentially protects you from untrusted domains and will save you from malware essentially. So make sure that they have the HTTPS verification right there. And another thing which you can do is a lot of websites nowadays do browser fingerprinting, which is basically with it sort of extracts the metadata of your laptop, you could say. uh, it's not exactly what I define it to be, but it's sort of similar. So what it does is it fingerprints the browser, which means that it tries to figure out what display resolution you're using, what is your public IP address, what say sometimes even it might even give your accurate coordinates on a GPS system, like the XYZ. Actually, I mean X and the Z. Let's get real. There's no Y here, but okay. Uh, so that's there. And basically, if you visit these websites, they'll do those fingerprinting and will not will collect a lot of personal information that you don't want leaked out in the internet. Most definitely, that's not really safe, because people can do all kinds of stuff with it, obviously. And in order to prevent yourself from being fingerprinted, you have to install secure browsers. None of this. I definitely don't recommend Opera, but I guess even Google Chrome to an extent can be fingerprinted. What I personally use is Brave browser, which is built on Chromium, so the functionality is quite similar, but the security and the privacy and definitely the encryption features that they offer, and the inbuilt ad block and all preventing trackers from tracking you essentially. All of this is just amazing. Like I just want to give a huge props to Brave as a company, because this is no ordinary feat. I mean, especially in 2021, one of the most valuable resources that you have is your data, and you should be extremely safe with it. So the next thing which you could do is to hide your IP address. Now, technically speaking, people can't do a lot with your IP address. I mean, they can perhaps do what is called as a distributed denial of service attack, which is a DDoS. But usually, your ISP would be able to figure out that somebody is trying to take your home network down, and would essentially stop the DDoS attack. Or if you're using a DDNS, which is maybe like, let's say, Cloudflare, which has an inbuilt DDoS protection, then you don't have to worry about these attacks. But generally speaking, having your IP exposed on the internet is not really an ideal situation, because say if they are able to mess with your IP address, they can mess with the packets, and that is not usually an ideal situation you want to place yourself in. So now that we've covered that, you can also use something called as a virtual private network. And a VPN does what the name suggests. It creates a virtual and private network. It is not exposed to the public, and even if it is, it won't expose your actual, like the actual network that you're actually connected to. It displays a different network and a different IP address. And the way it works is it connects you to a server or a computer which is somewhere on the earth, say Japan, US, whatever it may be. And from there on, you can browse the internet pretending to be a user within the United States. That's how people are able to watch Netflix US from, say, Japan or Russia or Canada. And sometimes, US citizens want to watch Japanese anime or something like that, so they connect to Japanese VPNs, or rather VPNs that exist in Japan or hosted in Japan. And you can use Proton VPN. It is free, but I don't recommend it. I don't trust it. Whenever you're selecting a VPN, it's better that you make sure that the VPN, like the government sometimes in cyber acts, right, they are able to hold stakes with the VPN company, and they don't ask them to erase the user data that's left behind. And that is not really good, because if that's the case, then essentially, even though you're masking yourself, you're not completely protected. The company still stores whatever you're browsing, whatever websites you visited. So your data isn't completely masked, it's still exposed. It is accessible by the government, but yeah. And the usual services, NordVPN, there's TunnelBear, I think, and there's also if I'm wrong, there's this ExpressVPN, yeah. And you can use all of these services as well. I use Proton because I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm okay as long as I don't really browse any heinous shit. I mean, I just, like, when I use a VPN, I try to watch anime. That's pretty much all I do, and maybe some accessing of some pirated websites. But I mean, websites that pirate stuff, But I mean, let's get real here. In the pandemic, everyone's gonna be doing it, although it's not really good. So that's there. You can use VPNs, and most importantly, please keep changing your passwords every month. Recently, major airlines like AirAsia got their databases leaked, and like I think thousands or even hundreds of thousands of users had lost their data to hackers on in these like dark web, what do you call, like these dark web websites, not dark web, deep web websites, where they just have like these huge databases of credit card numbers and passwords. Now, it isn't entirely the company's fault, to be honest. I mean, it's not entirely the user's fault, to be honest with you, because if the company doesn't have a good security on their side, and if they are the ones storing all the data, then if you just hack them, then you get access to all of our data. But in case your account does get hacked, then that would mean that your password isn't strong enough, or you just got social engineered or something. So yeah, please keep changing your passwords. Don't use something like peanut butter jelly sandwich 9940, because they already exist in several well, basically they exist in these several brute force attacks. So it's pretty stupid to use those. The most safest type of passwords, I guess, would be ones that are completely random and cannot be memorized by anyone except the computer. And you can use a password manager like LastPass or Bitwarden, which I use, in order to secure your passwords and be able to use them. So yeah, that's another thing which you can do. Now, once passwords are done, I guess the last thing I'd say is to never install software that Windows Defender says you can't, I mean, is bad to install. If you are going to install, run it through a virus checking website. So there are these websites which would scan the software and see if it has any encroachment, like stuff which encroaches your privacy, or stuff which installs malicious software into your computer. So for example, there's this website called VirusTotal, which determines if the software is essentially safe to install and gives it a rating. Another thing is, once you have security, you must also maintain privacy and anonymity in the internet. And let's get real. If you still use Facebook, I mean, that's kind of stupid, not gonna lie. I mean, why do you use Facebook? First of all, it's not even nobody even uses it. But in case you do, please quit Facebook and delete all your data. Even though they might have a copy of it, at least people can't essentially meddle with your personal life and whatever you do, and you're completely secure. Now, the best thing would be to completely quit, which is what I did. And also, you must always be up to date regarding hacks or threats or cybercrime on the internet. That's another major thing, because what the news does is it also keeps reinforcing the fact that not only are gold and silver valuable, but your personal data is as valuable, if not even more valuable. But anyways, that's essentially some of the few minor steps that you can take in order to browse the internet. Now, another really cool thing which you can do, and this is for people who want to dive deeper into privacy and security, is to install a Linux, a Linux distribution essentially. It doesn't matter what you do, just install Linux, because it's extremely tough to get infected with malware with it. Mainly because it doesn't allow you to use executable files. I mean, of course, you can use dot slash. What I mean to say is bash files, .sh files. But regardless, it's still quite difficult. And what you can also do is to use virtual machines, which are for high level enthusiasts. And virtual machine, basically, it does not allow the hacker to meddle with kernel level, essentially kernel level access. So some time ago, there was this really weird exploit with Windows installed on Intel machines where they could access, and I'm not well informed in this, excuse me if I'm wrong, but from what I remember is they're able to meddle with your kernel, Windows kernel, rather the NT kernel. And I was a bit I didn't understand at the time, but now I realize how dangerous it is, because if it does infect your kernel level, it's essentially able to use your laptop or a computer, if you were able to use it, and that's not really safe because they can do whatever they want with it. So make sure you have I mean, if you're gonna go this way, if you're going to install a bunch of malicious software and you don't care, then you would rather have done it using a virtual machine. Because if your, say, Windows installation gets extremely corrupted or is super infested with malware and viruses and bots, I mean, what do you say, bloatware, uh, shut up, Otis. So if that's the case, use virtual machines, because you can just completely delete them at will and never have to worry about your data getting stolen, because you are actually not going to be storing any data on the Windows virtual machine. You're going to be storing it on your Linux virtual machine, and it's just going to be creating an emulation. uh, but yeah, I mean, that these are some of the most minor steps that you can take in order to protect yourself from stinky hackers. So see ya.